Yo, what up? It's your boy, I Sleep Too Late, and in this video, we're going to be showcasing a really famous Mon in Gen 5. This is Contrary Mewtwo with, a bunch of contrary moves here. We're going to go ahead and lead with, obviously, I think Overheat is super effective. Honestly, I don't remember. But basically, this Mon holds a lens that allows its accuracy to basically be 99% on all its moves. The only thing that I'm not running is like V-Create, which wouldn't be a terrible option because Mewtwo does have 110 attack, which is pretty decent. But obviously not as good as the Megas in Gen 6 and 7. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and use Leaf Storm here. So all these moves are 99% accurate. And to be honest with you, Contrary is a really good casual option. I think in pure Hackmon's meta, it's not really as good. You get a lot of people with Wonder Guard that basically wall you, and it's not exactly the best option for a Wonder Guard meta, especially when you could be using stuff like Mold Breaker. In Gen 7 you've got like a lot of better options too, but as you can see here, it's a pretty solid option for like casual, for like multi single super single train. So that's where we are right now. All right, let's go ahead and keep playing here. I think I'm gonna make this a long form video and perhaps do like a maybe add a short here and there for people to watch. That way it's like that you got more extra content. Because it seems like these videos are tailored towards shorts, but we could also just play a little bit longer than just one match and see how we go. Because it's only 3-on-3. It's not a whole lot going on here. Ooh, Claydol. I wonder what is good against Claydol. Probably just like, I don't know, probably Leaf Storm. Let's go ahead and see if Leaf Storm will be super effective. I think it is. It's pretty neutral to Psychic and super effective against ground. Oof. Didn't get there with the 1-8 KO, but at least we got some really good boosts there. It's so broken to have like a nasty plot on top of a 140 base attack, especially when you've got 99% accuracy. You could run things like, Life Orb with this thing, but honestly, you don't really need to. Once you get like one nasty plot set up, it's basically game over, right? So I really wanted to just do solo like with one Mewtwo, but I think the game required me to have at least 3 Mons in the team. But I'm really hoping to just solo this entire series with Mewtwo. Ooh, Tyranitar. Okay, so here's the thing about Tyranitar. With Sandstream, it gets a 50% boost to its special defense. So we do have to be careful here, but I think Leaf Storm will still be good enough. Especially since we're like +4 right now. This is going to be tough. Oh yeah, very easy KO right there. And there you have it, folks. That is Mewtwo Contrary. All right, let's see if we can get into another match. We are speed running this like crazy. Let's see if we can get into game 3 now. This is a pretty decent moveset, honestly. I think it's like pretty unbeatable once you get it off. You basically one-shot most things on your like basically turn 1. And then the more like every turn afterwards is basically just gravy, right? Like it's very hard to survive a +2 special attack Mewtwo. This isn't even like a modest, this is a timid Mewtwo. And even then, I don't think you really need to have a... I don't even think... I mean, ooh, you survived? Wow. Stall Rain survived. That's crazy. But anyway, we are going to easily KO this thing, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, I was saying, like, as far as 130 speed goes, you outspeed pretty much everything. And especially when you're just playing, like, super single train solo battle, you're not really trying to pressure your opponent, like, with speed. They're not really a threat to you as far as speed goes. You pretty much outspeed everything. And look at this, Leaf Storm super effective against most things that I've been seeing so far in this video, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, now we've got +6, so we're maxed out on special attack. And yeah, I did consider like V-Create, but the thing about V-Create is that it's mostly it's mostly good against, like, I don't know. V-Create's mostly good if you're like a well-rounded Mon. Mewtwo is definitely a well-rounded Mon that can definitely play V-Create, but you know, you don't get stab on V-Create. 110 attack is pretty mid. Um, you could I could definitely see like Blaziken getting like with the stab on V-Create, and plus you get like what, a boosted superpower too, which is pretty insane. You could pretty much run a like a really nasty, almost a defensive Blaziken, not defensive, but like either Infernape or Blaziken with like V Create and Superpower that together get you like +1 defense every time you attack with them. And then with their special attack too, you can use like, I wouldn't use Overheat because that's like two fire moves, but you could easily run like some special attack moves as well. I think Psychic is probably the worst one because you there's such a plethora of dark type mons in Gen 5. You know, you've got Hydreigon, which is the pseudo legendary. Um, Darkrai. I mean, obviously you don't see Darkrai in Battle Tower, Battle Tree, so that's not really too relevant. But mostly what I do here is just casual. And I do have a bot on the no nerf server that I could play against. Problem with that is that I don't have a whole lot of move sets attached to it, so not a whole lot of development there. We are slowly working on it though. Ooh, so Lopunny is the first one to attack Mewtwo, the first one to draw to cut us. You know, it's like how Thanos faces against those characters in Marvel. You just, I think it was like well, I don't want to spoil everything, but like one of the superheroes lays a scratch on Thanos, and it's like, oh wow, you actually are the first one to scratch me. Mewtwo is probably like the Thanos of Gen 5. Um, Hackmons, I guess, balance Hackmons. I mean, the problem with Gen 5, honestly, is that like Wonder Tome is pretty much unbeatable unless you have like a mold breaker. So I'm not really a meta player. I usually just play casual, like console gaming. But I know that mold breaker um, is a huge ability in like pure Hackmons. And ironically, the best ability to give to a Zekrom or Reshiram is its own regular ability. Wow, look at this Aggron. Look at that. Okay, Stealth Rocks isn't going to do anything. But there are a lot of mons that just survive Mewtwo's 154 special attack with 140 base power attack without any boosts. It's pretty incredible. Let's go ahead and see how far we get with this. I might play a few more here and just try to grind out this here battle train. Okay, Blissey is going to be our first problem. We got to go with the Psycho Boost. We got to get the stab here. We're not going to one-shot the Blissey, but we're going to come kind of close to maybe 50%. Oh, oh, holy cow. I can't believe that just happened. Wow. That was crazy. I was not expecting that. So I guess the moral of the story is if you have a +4 Mewtwo, you pretty, oh, that was a +6, wasn't it? Yeah, I think that was a +6. There's nothing that like you can survive, assuming you don't have like Wonder Guard. You pretty much KO everything. So that's pretty nice. It's good to know that Mewtwo is OP. There are some other mons I'd like to feature in Gen 5, but I think that for the time being, we're going to sit tight with where we are now. I think that the best option here, I mean, there's not really a good option here, but either Draco Meteor or Overheat. That's one of the good things about Dark Poison is that like you're only weak to ground, so you can just give like Wonder Guard, Air Balloon. But the other thing about that is you're also immune to like Psychic, which is also kind of crazy. All right, this should be pretty straightforward. One problem with Gen 5 I don't like, it's not really a problem, but it's more like quality of life thing is you don't get to see what moves are super effective against your opponent. Ooh, are we about to lose? Whew, I can't believe this. I think we're about to lose. Oh no. We were getting close though. Mewtwo is very beefy when it comes to its defenses because in Gen 5 you can give it 252 in every stat. The only thing we don't have it 252 on is attack, which is for obviously because if you get confused, you don't want to hurt yourself in confusion anymore, and you're not really using your you're not really using your attack stat for anything. So that's one thing about special attackers that's good, but obviously huge power makes physical attackers way better. I will say though, contrary special attackers are pretty legit. Like they're pretty powerful. Once you get like one boost off, then it's pretty much game over, right? Like there's very little that comes in the way of you steamrolling your opponent. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what's up here. We've got, I believe this is number 7 or 8. All right, it's starting to get repetitive. We'll probably end the video once we get to like 10. But I really like grinding with Mewtwo. It's been a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and leaf storm here. We usually want to KO Starmie. The other thing about these mons is they don't run Focus Sash. I think that Focus Sash is way more prevalent in like Gen 6, Gen 7. You see a lot more Focus Sash, but none of these mons we're facing are on Focus Sash, which is kind of crazy. You would think that they'd want to have like at least a more Focus Sashers. Let's go Draco Meteor here. Ooh, Sucker Punch. I don't think that KOs us though. Oh, that did a lot. If that were a critical hit, we would have actually lost. Okay. That was an easy KO there. Because I think we were already +2, right? Metagross. I guess we go Overheat. And I think this is going to be a 1-hit KO. But I'm not entirely sure. Metagross is pretty bulky. Let's see if we do it. Oh, and they've got the berry. So I don't think this is going to KO the Metagross. Oh, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. That was insane. All right, well, Mewtwo is just completely OP, as you can see here. Nothing to really explain. Mewtwo is completely bonkers. And with that, we're going to call the video, take a nice little break here. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of Pokemon stuff. I also play some Magic the Gatherings for you Magic fans. But check out the rest of my channel, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.